After billions of years of blind motion, the universe produced a thing that knows it will die. That thing is consciousness. For most of cosmic history, there was no point of view, no interior, no witness. Then matter arranged itself into something that could know this. One explanation is simple. Consciousness is an emergent property. When matter reaches sufficient complexity, when neurons connect in dense, recursive architectures, experience arises, like liquidity emerging from H2O molecules. Philosopher Daniel Dennett argues that nothing mysterious is required. No extra substance, no hidden ingredient, just structure. Build enough layers of function, let them loop back on themselves, and the sense of an inner self begins to appear. On this view, consciousness is not a separate thing. It is what complex information processing feels like from the inside. No ghost in the machine, just the machine. That explanation accounts for behavior. It explains how a system functions, but it leaves a different question open. Liquids do not feel wet. Temperature does not experience heat. A simulation of a hurricane does not get drenched. Neural activity can be mapped. Electrical signals can be measured. Synapses can be described down to chemical gradients. But none of that description contains redness. None of it contains the sensation of warmth. None of it contains the interior weight of a thought. This tension is what philosopher David Chalmers called the heart problem. Why should physical processes produce subjective experience at all? A complete structural account of the brain still leaves an unanswered question. It explains what the brain does. It doesn't explain why it feels like anything from the inside. Emergentism explains function elegantly, but it struggles to explain feeling. In this view, consciousness behaves like a flame. It persists only while the structure sustains it. Fuel, oxygen, ignition. Remove the structure, and the flame disappears. Consciousness in this frame is a rare flare in the universe, a brief combustion in biological matter. But another possibility presses in. What if consciousness does not emerge? What if it was never absent? Experience is fundamental, not language, not reflection, but a primitive, interior aspect woven into matter itself. Philosopher Galen Strawson argues that if experience undeniably exists now, it cannot arise from something wholly devoid of experience. Something cannot come from absolute nothing. If experience exists now, then reality must have contained the possibility of it all along. Something cannot appear from nowhere. On this view, atoms are not conscious in any human sense, but they may carry the faintest trace of proto-experience. Complex organisms do not create consciousness, they organize it. In this view, structure does not generate experience, it gathers it. In this picture, the brain resembles a receiver more than a flame. The signal is not manufactured out of nothing, it is tuned. Destroy the receiver, and the organized broadcast ceases here. One image makes awareness a temporary chemical flare. The other makes it a local gathering of something more pervasive. Both explain something, but neither dissolve the strangeness. Emergentism asks for patience. Given enough complexity, awareness appears. But it also makes consciousness fragile, a temporary pattern in matter, a configuration that flickers into existence and dissolves without residue. Nothing in the fabric of the universe requires it. Panpsychism asks for something else. It suggests that consciousness was never absent, that matter was never purely exterior. But that makes reality far stranger than it first appeared. Physics may describe behavior, but behavior alone will not exhaust what exists. Either awareness is a rare accident, or it is everywhere in disguise. Imagine a universe in its final stage. Stars have exhausted their fuel. Galaxies have drifted apart. Matter is thin, cold, and scattered. No organisms remain, no nervous systems, no point of view. The equations still hold, particles still move. The structure of reality continues without interruption. But nothing experiences it. If consciousness is emergent, that is where the story ends. A return to blind motion, the same condition that existed for billions of years before awareness appeared. But if consciousness is fundamental, then even the silent universe would not be entirely empty. Some trace of interiority would remain, unorganized, unfocused, but present. Either way, one possibility remains. Awareness may be temporary, or it may be older than the stars themselves. If awareness is emergent, then this interior world, memory, grief, curiosity, is a temporary surface tension in matter, a rare configuration in a universe that will not remember it. When the structure dissolves, the experience dissolves with it. No cosmic archive preserves it, no deeper layer holds it in reserve. Just a brief combustion, and then silence again. If awareness is fundamental, then the universe has never been entirely dark. In that case, every piece of matter carries more than mass. Interiority would not be an anomaly, it would be latent, waiting for organization. But then another question opens. How does a scattered field of proto-experience become a single point of view? How do fragments gather into one unified perspective? Panpsychism softens one mystery and deepens another. Either way, the familiar picture of reality starts to fall apart. It is either generated in experience or permeated by it. There was no requirement for experience to exist. Physics could have remained entirely exterior. Motion without interior, structure without sensation, wavelength without color, vibration without sound, and yet some arrangement of matter opened into a clearing. Whether that clearing is an emergent flare or the focusing of something more fundamental, it is here. The universe does not announce purpose. Stars burn without intention. Galaxies drift without preference. Entropy proceeds without commentary. If meaning exists, it is not written in the expansion of space. It appears wherever experience appears. It appears where awareness appears. If consciousness is emergent, then meaning is emergent too, a pattern forming briefly in complex matter. If consciousness is fundamental, then meaning may be woven faintly into reality, intensified wherever awareness gathers. Either way, permanence is not promised. Nothing guarantees continuation. No structure holds forever. And yet, within this interval, color matters, pain matters, curiosity matters. Not because the cosmos commands it, but because experience is occurring. The same blind forces that scatter galaxies have arranged themselves into a structure that can question its own existence, that can wonder whether it emerged or was always there. And that question exists only where awareness exists. For a brief span, the universe is not only unfolding, it knows that it is. Whether that knowledge emerged or was always there, it exists for now.